Aloha and welcome to livestream.travel. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz and I'm your host today at this podcast. And we'll be talking about the state of the travel and tourism industry here in our beautiful state of Hawaii. Hawaii has been closed for tourism now for several months. That means it is legal to travel here, but everyone arriving in this state has to go through quarantine for 2 weeks. That means staying in your hotel room and getting food brought to your hotel room. What, of course, in other words, anyone really following through on this regulation means it's not really much of an incentive to come. But what else you wanted to do here? The beaches are closed. The parks are closed. So it's not so much fun. There's no nightclubs open. Some of the restaurants are open. Some of the shops are open. And some of the hotels are open. But it's not the same Hawaii tourists enjoy when they came here 30,000 people strong every day. We still have more than 1,000 people arriving. About half of them are visitors. And now, after months into this, we realize that these visitors are not tourists that are locked in their hotel rooms. There are only really a handful of them. These visitors are mostly dependent from military personnel that are flying to Hawaii, and they're allowed to bring their relatives to the state. And these relatives did not have to be part of the quarantine rule. So these are the people you find in restaurants, you find on Waikiki Beach when the beach was still open. And these are most likely also the people that brought the virus in here in full strength. And we're dealing with the second wave of the virus, and we're threatened with the second close down of the state altogether. The tourism industry is hurting, and that means everyone in the state is hurting, because everyone living in the state of Hawaii indirectly and is involved in the travel and tourism industry, even if you're not directly employed in this industry. You see homeless people digging through garbage cans. You see people with mental challenges everywhere. This is not the same Hawaii I lived in the last 30 years. And we have to go through this together. And all of us have to do their part to see and hopefully see a brighter future. But tourism will most likely never be the same. But where are the leaders? What are the leaders doing? We simply don't know if they're doing anything, or maybe they're doing so much they just don't tell anyone. But we cannot be part of this planning process. And in a country what is ruled by a government that is made up by the people, this is a very dangerous path we're going on. So let's get to Daniel Chang. Daniel I called Daniel today, and he responded immediately and was willing to talk. He did not know, and I have to give him credit, that this was actually used for a podcast. And I apologize because I didn't know either, but I thought it's a good way of sharing this short conversation I had with Daniel with everyone else, and praise Daniel for actually being responsive. He's the only one out of 12 board members, and we reached out to every single one of them, who immediately talked to me and was helpful. He cares about tourism. And I think all of us should care about tourism, and we should care together. So mahalo, Daniel. I did cut off some portions out of the conversations. I know there's some off the records comments and so forth, like in every conversation we have with people. So we honor this, and this will not be part of the podcast. But listen to what Daniel has told me in regards how he sees and what he knows or not know. Just give you a little glimpse. Again, thank you for listening in, and we hope you will enjoy our conversation. And again, join us next time. Stay tuned.
This is Daniel.
Yes, hi, Daniel. My name is, this is Jürgen Thomas Steinmetz with Ethiopia News. How are you doing?
Oh, yes. Hi, Jürgen. How are you?
I'm fine. I was, I'm sorry to barge in there. I'm working on an article, and I know you can help me. And this article is about, I can tell you what I'm concerned, that's the other part of the article is Mufi Hannemann, Mufi Hannemann, of course, representing the private hospitality industry for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's
Mm-hmm.
Chris. These are the two leaders, right, we have in this state to maneuver through this crisis. Now, Mufi
Right.
Hannemann spent almost all his time campaigning for mayor. Maybe that's why he lost big time. I can tell you both Chris and Mufi Hannemann, and none of these people at HTA have been reachable to the media, not only to us, to other media. We've tried to reach out, and I know several others did too. There was never any comment or any
Mm.
return phone call. I can tell you, HTA, when you call, and that's why I'm concerned. You're part of the board,
Mm.
so you guys are
I am.
accountable
No, so
for this.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, as a board member, I have been
Mm-hmm.
trying to call HTA since March to get
Really?
comments and also to offer our help. You probably know, if you read us a little bit, um, my company is very much involved in travel security and,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
fighting the epidemic. We do the rebuilding
Yeah.
format. We have Dr.
Yeah.
Peter Talo, who was here. We
Yeah.
offered our help and our expertise, not necessarily mine, but even Dr. Peter Talo, for free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I live here. You have a responsibility when you live here.
Mm-hmm.
You have a
Right.
responsibility. You live here, and I have a responsibility because we live here.
Right.
So
Right.
no one ever has responded to emails, to phone calls. And when you call HTA, you call HVCB, any one of these guys, the voicemail boxes are full. Or they're
Mm.
telling you the sad story. They cannot answer the phone because it's Corona. I mean, my company,
Mm-hmm.
we're small. We have 11 people, but you can reach anyone here, and it goes through our
Mm.
switchboards. It's automatic. There is no
Mm-hmm.
excuse.
Mm-hmm.
You can
So
call.
you so
You can, yeah.
you've tried reaching out to Marissa then, yeah? Or who did you try
Uh,
to reach out to?
we reach. I talk. Marissa is the only one who is probably hired to shield everything from everyone else. She has been very responsive. I'm not attacking Marissa. She has been great.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good. Well,
But
because I mean, she's the director of public relations. That's why.
yeah, but
So I just
she
wanted to.
can. No, she cannot say anything. The problem is if you go a step further, like people associate me most of the time, and it's true with media. But media is only like the smaller part of my job. Our main part for the last 2 years is safety and security for tourism boards.
Mm-hmm.
We're hired by
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, we're hired by St. Lucia, by Mexico, by Bahrain, by many Seychelles, you name it, where we do work and we charge for this work, and we charge quite a bit of money. We're not cheap, but we're good at
Mm-hmm.
it. We have Dr. Talib
Mm-hmm.
Rifai, former Secretary General UNWTO on our team. We have a foreign minister on our team, so we're good. I was trying to bring this expertise in here for free. We're not asking for any money from anyone. We're
Mm-hmm.
just concerned about our industry, and the industry is the welfare of our entire state, because everyone is involved in tourism, even if you don't work in tourism. And I
Mm-hmm.
find it appalling that also board members allow this type of things to go on. Um, and I
Well.
appreciate you pick up the phone because you're reachable and I know you. But I can tell you,
Mm-hmm.
none of your other colleagues ever returned
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn messages or anything. I didn't know you on the board. I probably would have reached to you out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But people are
Yeah.
completely don't know what to do. They're shielding each other. It's unreal.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I will say that there has been well, I think you're just seeing sort of a gap in communication on all levels, right? I
All
mean, just
levels, from the governor to
there's
down to everyone. Yes.
right. So I mean, I will say that there was, and but we also have to take into account that this is unlike anything we have ever experienced, right? So I mean, there's some grace that can be given there. However, I completely understand and agree with you that there we need to do better, and that's just something that has we've there's certainly been gaps there, and
Yeah, and yeah, and it may be too late to do better. Maybe we lost already to do better. Tourism will never be the same. Alaska Airlines flight will never be the same capacity as it was before with the same frequency. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, but this is a worldwide issue, right? I mean,
exactly. and we should shine.
It's not just Hawaii that might be failing in this, right? I mean, there's a lot of other places around the world that have had to open and then close and then open again, or they have policies in place that I mean, not everyone is going to be in agreement about, right? So I mean, that's sort of the other component to this. That's really difficult.
And Daniel, you made my point. That is why I started this, our rebuilding.travel platform. We have people in 117 countries, including CEOs from tourism boards from many, many countries, heads, foreign ministers, tourism ministers, airline aviation experts. It's by you may know our aviation expert is Vijay. He was VP for Etihad Airways for many years. And we have many other airlines. We work with Lufthansa and several others. This is a forum we have started here in Hawaii. We invited HTA, God knows how many times, to be part of it. There is never a response, never an interest. But I can tell you who is on our forum, and it's ironically, it's the head of the Iranian tourism board and the head of the minister of tourism from Syria. She is on our board. I'm not going to kick her out. We're a global forum. But I'm saying it's easier for us to reach out to the most remote areas in the world than it is here to Hawaii. And that is my concern. We're all going through this together. And we can learn from each other. I think Hawaii could probably learn from Singapore. I challenge you to just call the Singapore Tourism Board and try to get something accomplished, achieved. Every call they get, every email they get is registered with a number. And it's going to be responded to, professionally responded to, and someone with an intelligent mind will actually see it. We don't do this here. Everyone is sitting at home, God knows, doing nothing or doing something, don't know what they're doing. And this is how we all should work together, not only in Hawaii. We need to work on an international basis. And that's what I was trying to put together with our initiative, what has been quite successful. I mean, we've been on CNN, we've been all over the place. But we don't get the time of the day here. The only one who has reported for part of it was Frank Haas. You probably know him. He's been on this with Net and Cheap, and Alison Schaefer is always listening in. She's a good reporter. But even she doesn't give us any coverage, or hardly. She mentioned us a few times without mentioning the name. She mentioned Peter, but it's a start. So it's something good. No one knows it's us. She just mentioned Peter. Maybe she's concerned about us in there. I can tell you, I reached out to HTA on an issue what was very close to our publication. We publish Hawaii News Online. We publish Etopo News. In March, these are numbers you can pull up in analytics. We had 2.06 million unique readers between these two publications only. So that is larger than any publication in the state of Hawaii, even combined. So we cannot ask any questions at a governor's press conference. We're not invited. We're not informed. We have 11 people here on the payroll who are struggling. I had to put payroll back 1/3 for everyone so we can stay in business. And many people have been with us for 20 years. So we're struggling like everyone else. But our job is making double difficult because people are not talking to us. We have to put 10 times as much work in it. And we're not even allowed at a press conference. At the mayor's, we're fine. We have a good relationship with Mayor Caldwell. And I think I talked to him a few times. But the governor, forget it. HTA, forget it. It's all the same thing. And you guys in the board, being on the board, should by now have a wake-up call. Before it was just talk. But now we're getting into a reality. And I think it's everyone's responsibility on this board to see this with a little bit more seriousness, also in the public sector. That has not happened. And I mean, I'm just calling you. I'm angry about this, and we're here to help. So if you whatever you want to relate, that's fine. Everything I said is not private. You can say we're ready to help and to play team, and we can bring expertise to it.
No, I as always, I appreciate your call and I appreciate talking to you. And just your passion for this place and making sure that you're you're doing what you can to help. So yeah, I mean, I apologize that you haven't heard from anyone with the HTA or feel like you're not being heard at all. So I mean, I will certainly make sure to take this back to the team to sort of say what or look into what happened here. And yeah, no, I mean, if there's anything else that I can help you with, feel free to call and we can chat. Okay.
No, I appreciate it, but I think it's time for HTA to also have people who can contribute to this business who are here in Hawaii, who are related to all these activities. We've been doing this now with Peter 27 years, safety and security. Why not invite other people to the group? We don't need just a Hannemann, Mike McCartney, all these people floating around and doing the same old thing, what is not going to work. Our tourism industry will change, and we all need to work together to make it better. And it's and that's my advice. But anyways, I appreciate your time. The good thing,
thank you.
Good thing is, I have enough miles now on my credit card. I got an Alaska Airlines credit card. I don't know, with more than 100,000 miles, so I can fly you. I've never been on Alaska Airlines, so one of these days.
All right. Well, thank you for the call. Okay.
I appreciate it. Okay, and take this to the people. Okay, do me a favor.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
I will. Okay.
Aloha. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much for listening to our podcast today. All of us here in Hawaii are hoping to welcome our visitors from around the globe again with open arms. We're desperate for you. However, the time isn't right yet, and we need to defeat this virus. So please stay home just a little bit longer, bear with us, and hopefully we can start a new tourism also here in Hawaii very soon. Aloha from here, and we talk to you soon.